Vin.
I'm sorry.
If you would like to get your song reviewed, dear listener, there's the filthy capitalist option. As Sori says, $125 gets you straight to the head of the line. You don't have to be a part of the alliance. You don't have to be part of the group.
Wait a minute.
And the biggest thing is you don't have to wait. You hop, skip, and jump right in front of everybody. $125 gets you there. You do that 3 times and then get mashed down to the $75 rate for perpetuity.
Yes!
Also, there is a band review option. So if you've got a band and you're trying to get your band some exposure, hit me up at Sori@gmail and I'll show you the details about how to pull that off.
You can also jump on Patreon and there is a option on the tiers to be able to get your band reviewed. Yep. Obviously, we can't lie to you, so we can't guarantee a positive review. Get what you get.
It's just rubbish.
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 That's British for garbage.
My favorite is the community option. $1 at the gate gets you in at Patreon. You get to join an alliance. The alliance joins their points together, and that helps determine what songs that we do.
The alliances hang out on Discord.
Message me on Patreon to get the link.
And they do all kinds of other cool things. They do Minecraft, Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. It's really a community within the community. Anybody can go on the village, facebook.com/Vin and Sori. There's 160,000+ people on it. Cool about the Discord is that it offers a real opportunity for community connection, friendship, that type of thing. But,
and it's on Discord, so if you're not a Facebook person, it's for you.
You start off at $1.
Right.
Plus you get exclusives. Sori and I are working on a song. So the first 15 seconds of that was on Patreon. Also, at $15 tier and above, when we actually debut the video, they're going to be there live with us. There you are, dear listener.
Buy our merch.
Buy our merch indeed, and shall lead them.
To buy our merch,
Yes,
you
dear
guys.
listener, yes, dear listener, yes, dear
A
listener.
Ren stream in the works. We just got done listening to a very good song. By the title of Lost All Faith. Now we're going into Wicked Ways. Don't forget, we are doing this in chronological order, and our DJ Nick has set up the list for us. 10 songs back to back.
All right, here we go, guys. Wicked Ways from the big homie Ren. Let's check it out.
Wicked Ways. I am the eye of the storm, I am the poisonous one, I am the grip with the gun, I am the zip of the body bag zipping the shock when it's done, I am the hit and the run, I am the prodigal son, I am a tail of the hun, rhythm spectacular, cardiovascular rhyming on beast when I run, I am the G, I am the genie of flow, brand 7 genie is streaming and scheming like glow, I am a mammoth of flow, hit when your stamina's low, oh so cold, my vocal is postal, top shelf, I'm loco, not social, chewing toadstools by myself, ayy. I am the bite of the beast, I am the night of the feast, I will be fighting the peace. Hit like Muhammad Ali, cause I come with a dangerous reach. I am the wolf to the sheep, light on my feet when I creep. I am the cousin of sleep, sleep is the cousin of death, so I guess I'm the grimmest I breed. I am the nemesis, and the dragon, put emphasis on the creation of time, so they call me the Genesis. Venomous, I need a therapist, sit and recline in the mind of the specialist. Talk yada 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 yada, quiet when I walk, pitta patta pitta patta pitta, riot in my thoughts, man, quiet in the core. Oh sweet Jesus, oh my mind, what will fill my appetite? What will feed this hunger in my stomach growing every night? Oh my goodness, oh my days, I'm stuck in my wicked ways. Sometimes I fall off the path of righteousness, but that's okay. Oh sweet Jesus, oh my mind, Lord I need a alibi, Lord I need redemption from the tension growing in my mind. Oh my goodness, oh my days, I'm caught in my wicked ways. Sometimes I fall off the path of righteousness, but that's okay. I am the blood run bread, I am the day of the dead. I am the hole in your head, pull it, lead. Fuck up the whole damn program, I'm Hulk Hogan, Wolverine, Logan, Trojan horse with the force of a 4-door Hummer. Motherfucker, encore. I am the cream of the crop, I'm the behemoth of pop. I will be stopping the clocks. I am the one that makes you bow down when you're down there. Suck my reload, pop, pop, pop. No shame, point at cop. Make him drop, main mode, pull up, stop. Drop that body off. Mother Mary, me oh my, think I feel a fight inside. Dealing with my demons, I've been kneeling, pray to with the sky. Oh my goodness, oh my gosh, leave me strung out on the cross. Let the crows feast on my woes, I lose control when the beat drops. Liar, liar, pants on fire, I pray to a false messiah. So process conflicted in a convoluted magnifier. Oh my goodness, oh my days, I'm caught in my wicked ways. Sometimes I fall off the path of right. Roll like a motherfucker, kid with decision, go to war like I'm Danny Glover. Hit him, I'll be swinging in the jaw like an undercover villain. I go with him when I talk, kill him when I talk, kill him when I pop off and drop off the top off the take off. I pull up, then pull out, then pile up the payout. I pick up the liquor, then stick up the check out. I'm quick on the trigger, click, click, pow, pow. Quick, no doubt, lip, more class. 6. So come with the fire, the burn, and empire. Return the barbed wire, don't take it higher. I'ma kill it like I always kill it. Body bag, zip it. I'ma feel it like I always feel it. Keep it so prolific. Oh my goodness, oh my days. I'm stuck in my wicked ways. Sometimes I fall off the path of righteousness, but that's okay. Wicked ways. Wicked ways.
Shit. Yo, that was tight. That was good.
He's good.
Yeah. That was good.
Fast.
That was really, really good. I love how he gets his personality out there too, man. He gets his little personality out there. This is cool. I love this guy. Okay. All right, what do you got?
Yeah, it was this one. It's interesting because you can see like he is like as a person like kind of going through different things, and we're able to see it obviously because we're going back to back on the songs. When he says, "I am the hit and the run. I am the prodigal son. I am this." I don't know.
I'm Attila the Hun. Attila.
Is that a warrior?
Yeah, but he was like a Genghis Khan type of guy, just slaying shit. Horrible person. He's saying he's all those things.
Yeah, right.
I am the hit and the run. I'm the prodigal son. I'm
This
Attila the Hun. Rhythm spectacular, cardiovascular, rhyming beats when I run. What do you got?
This part. I am the wolf to the sheep, light on my feet when I creep. I am the cousin of sleep. Sleep is the cousin of death, so I guess I'm the grimace I reap. That was good.
Yeah, Nas had that on his record, Illmatic. Sleep
what
was a
was
cousin of death.
Oh, okay. So, but when they're not taking the whole song and they just put the piece in there like that, is it? It's like a hat tip to that person.
Yeah, it's a hat tip to Nas.
Yeah.
That means that he was that means that he's familiar with Illmatic.
Right.
Illmatic was Nas's classic record, and that's where he got illest of all time or whatever.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
go ahead. Well,
it's just there's so many. It's very difficult for me to react to lyrics that move so quickly because we just have to like start at the beginning and be like, okay, I am the eye of the storm. I am the poisonous one. I am the grip of the gun. I'm the zip of the body bag, zipping it shut when it's done. I'm the hit and the run. So yeah, he's saying that he's all these things in one person.
Right.
And at the same time, I'm a G. I'm the genie of flow. Rhymes are in. So he's saying that he's a really good rapper in the midst of all of that too.
Well, G usually stands for gangsters. Mm-hmm. So I'm a G. But if you look at the next line, I'm a G. I'm a genie of flow. Rhymes are ingenious. Dreaming and scheming, I glow. So it's not G for gangster, it's G for genius.
Yep.
Right? Genius would be the idea. See what I'm saying?
Genius.
So G stands for genius there. So I'm a master of the flow. I hate when the stamina's low. He said that he's talking about going diverting from the path of righteousness. So I thought that was an interesting one. Because this is
sometimes I fall off the path of righteousness.
Yeah. This is like the fourth song where he's mentioning something about morality or God. It's almost every other song he's talking about God, actually.
Yeah.
And like the previous song, he was upset at God because he wanted freedom from temptations to sin and he didn't get enough help in time, which means that he fell off into sin. So now with this song,
he's like, forgiveness.
Well, this song he's saying, well, sometimes I fall off the path of righteousness, but that's okay. Mm-hmm. Right? And so I thought that was interesting because as a Christian, that's like one of the big sort of, how does this all work? Because on the one hand, what we say is, well, the Bible says that Jesus covered all of your sins, right? So when he died on the cross, by one sacrifice, he's perfected for all time those who are being made righteous. Cool. That means you have a perfect record from start to finish by God, as if you were a perfect person your entire life.
That's crazy.
Great. But then you got in a fight with your wife.
Uh-oh.
Okay? So like, great, Jesus took care of your sin and you're not afraid on Judgment Day, but how does that help your wife? You weirdo. And so like, is it okay to veer off the path of righteousness? And how far off the path of righteousness does it happen when it stops being okay? Because, like, that's a really interesting... this is one of the things that's so fascinating me about the modern world, especially the modern Western world, where people speak as if we've graduated past God. Now we're so smart. And you'll have people just assume things. Like, I can do the right thing without religion. Well, what's the right thing? Like, where did you get the idea that there was a right and a wrong in the first place? And, like, all of us have, like, I call it, like, the speed zone. Like, if it's 70, most of us are going 75. So, like, it's one of those things where, like, technically I'm above the speed limit, but 75, we all kind of realize, like, we all collectively don't think 75 is, like, 5 miles over is that big of a variance. But what about 28 miles over? Then we're like, well, shit, somebody's going 30 miles over the speed limit. Yeah, I mean, that's crazy, right? So, again, it's like, who determines these things? Like, and for me, it's like, I recognize that I have a certain level of tolerance for certain things. And I know that other people don't have those same tolerances. And so I have to operate from that perspective. So I think if you ask yourself, how far off the range of the path of righteousness can I go without getting in trouble? Then that's going to produce one side of acting, right? But if the other side is because you have to define what the path of righteousness actually is in the first place to determine how destructive it is to veer off of it.
Yeah.
So if you define righteousness as rule keeping, like I'm following all the rules to the letter, right? You go, okay, well, if there's 1,000 rules and you're following all the rules to the letter, if you deviate on one or two of them, all of us are going to be fine with that, right? Because I mean, come on, like you're copying the other rules. But
depends on which rule it is.
If you define righteousness by the ability to love God and love your neighbor well, right? And so somebody asked me one time, what is sin in the biblical understanding? Well, the Bible says explicitly, sin is the breaking of the law. Okay. And then somebody asked Jesus, what is the highest commandment in the law? So if sin is breaking the law, then I want to find out what is the most important law not to break.
Yeah.
And so somebody asked Jesus that question, and Jesus says, oh, that's simple. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength. And then Jesus gave him a bonus. He said, and the second is like it. Love your neighbor as yourself. Why? Because your neighbor is created in the image of the God that you're supposed to love ultimately. So if you love God ultimately, then you will by necessity love your neighbor, because your neighbor is in the image of that God that you claim you love ultimately. See how that works? And so if I reframe the path of righteousness as a lifestyle of loving people, how far off that path can you veer before it stops being okay to you? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like, and I'm not saying this to condemn Ren. I'm just saying, like, if you define righteousness as most religious people do, by following a set of rules and doing or not doing those rules, then you can start negotiating, because that's what happens on the highway, right? There's no emotional connection to the number 70 miles an hour. There's no emotion. It's just, and then now you start like, okay, well, 75, whatever, right? But what if you had a baby in the back seat and you didn't have a car seat?
Right.
Are you still going to drive as fast as you possibly can?
Right.
Are you going to say, well, the thing says 70 miles an hour. How far can I push this pedal until the cops come get me? Is that going to be your mindset if you've got a newborn in the back and there's no baby seat?
Certainly not.
You see how that works? So love as an engine is a lot more proximate to how you should live your life than trying to be a rule keeper, right? Because there's so many things that fall through the cracks with rule keeping. Like people think, like the 10 Commandments, for example. You guys, the greatest commandment, according to Jesus, is not even found in the 10 Commandments. It's not even found in the 10 Commandments. But you see what I'm saying?
Oh,
But this is how we are. We're rule keepers. So it's like, oh, give me 10 rules. Because that's easier to do or not do versus love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, and strength. Like, we were listening to a biography of Abu Sufyan. It's not, anyway. And this guy had betrayed Muhammad, did all this horrible shit to Muhammad, and then he converts to Islam. Okay, and then like 20 years later, he's dying, he's on his deathbed, and his family's crying. And he said, don't worry, guys. He said, ever since I converted to Islam, I've never sinned. You remember that line?
I do.
I've never sinned. Why? Because Islam is a list of rules that you keep or you don't keep or whatever, and so you can always kind of track at the end of the day. Mm-hmm. It's a lot more complex and dynamic to say, did I love people well today? Did I love them? Not did I tolerate them. Not did I,
Yep.
Me, it's like I turned the other cheek. You know, I could have slit your throat, but I turned the other cheek. So that gets me you know, you should be happy. You know what I'm saying? And like, you know, me in the car and she's like, yeah, it's great. You didn't brutally murder that guy. Good job, man. Like, we're going to have to make you the next pope or something because, you know? So anyway, that's the point. That's the point. I really, really, really like this song. He's a very, very, very insightful person relative to himself. He's extremely self-aware. Mm-hmm. Extremely self-aware.
Mm-hmm. The other thing about like following a set of rules is it's easier sometimes to do the right thing than to be the right thing, because the stuff that happens internally inside of us, it's hidden from everybody else. And so sometimes you can be hiding behind your good acts and the things that you do, but inside, like, you're a really terrible person. I mean, it happens. Watch some documentaries and some true crime. A lot of times people will be like, we had no idea this person was like that. That's because on the outside, they were looking like a really great person with their hands all clean. But inside, they were murderous. They were lustful. They were, you know, they were not capping those things to make sure that stuff doesn't get any further. And so that's the crazy thing about the Christian religion, which I do kind of think it differentiates it from other religions in one sense, is that Jesus is very focused more so on the inside, our inward lives, than the outside life. Because, like I said, we're really great at deceiving and putting on, you know, having one face that like is how you really are and putting another face on top of it for everybody else to see. We're really good at that level of deception toward each other. And at some points it becomes really obvious. Like the Bible says, it kind of gives us some tells. It says, out of the heart the mouth speaks. So a lot of times you can kind of get a better gauge on where somebody's at internally by the things that come out of their mouth. Another way to gauge it too is by what brings you joy, what makes you happy. Like some people get really happy at seeing the destruction of other people, or seeing, just seeing, friggin', remember those people on the side of the hill watching, Gaza get bombed and they had friggin' popcorn in their lawn chairs? I mean, you've really let yourself go pretty far down that line. But, it's easy to point at people like that and say, that's crazy. But there's, we have those inconsistencies in ourselves. So I don't know. It was just, he's a really good artist. His raps are crazy. I love the self-awareness. That's a big thing for me with him. He's very self-aware, and I think that's always been my goal, like for a long time. And it's great to see somebody like that dedicated. And that's one of the benefits though of having a mental illness, is that the treatment for it is, let's engage into your psyche. Let's do a deep dive into your psyche. And so that's why a lot of it doesn't work, because a lot of us don't want to go there and do that. It's not that the methodology doesn't work. It's not that the science is wrong or anything like that for the most part. But for the most part, it's just very, very, very hard work to work on yourself, especially to see things about yourself that you don't want to see. All right, guys, we have one more song. We're not going to tell you the title. But we have one more song from the big homie Ren. Stick around till the commercial. Lisa, Ren, not Ren, Adam, Dave, all you beautiful people, like, share, comment, subscribe. Commercial break. We'll be right back. Up next, like I said, is Wicked Ways. In this little space of time we have here, we're going to do a random Ask Me Anything. So if anybody has any questions, you may ask them. We've got one person saying, how do you know if you're depressed?
Well, there are a couple symptoms, right? If you're sad all the time, that would be one. Loss of appetite is one. Loss of sexual drive is another. Disinterested in things that you're usually interested in. That would be one for starters. Wanting to be alone, isolating yourself, that type of thing.
They said longing for something more than I have, scared of the future, drinking to get through the day. I don't know. That's how they're feeling.
Well, drinking to get through the day is not a good sign, my boy or my girl. So, the first thing I would do is find the people closest to you and say, have you noticed anything about me, let's say, different in the last 2 to 4 weeks? And tell them they have complete permission to be as raw as possible. And I think that'll give you a pretty good baseline to operate from. Most of the time, if you have a friend that says, if you ask your friend that, they'll be like extremely relieved, because what's most likely happening is they're probably already seeing the signs of that in you, and maybe they are worried about how you'll take it. So if you open the door to that, then they might be more amenable to tell you. And whatever they say to you, especially if it's something you don't want to hear, whatever it is you don't want to hear, that's the thing that you need to hear the most. Okay, guys, that's my little 2 cents. What do I know? To be honest with you, I'm not a professional. So there it is. Go see a professional, obviously.